The energy inside the Philippines Got Talent arena was electric, the kind of electricity that hummed through the air before something unforgettable happened. Viewers filled the seats, waving homemade banners, whispering predictions, and waiting eagerly for the next contestant to step into the spotlight. Even the judges, each seasoned by years of unexpected performers, felt the strange anticipation building as the stage manager raised a hand, signaling the arrival of the next act. A young man walked forward, carrying a worn, wooden guitar. He wasn't flashy, didn't dress like someone trying to impress or shock. Instead, he wore a simple black shirt, boots that had clearly traveled far, and an expression of calm confidence. The lights caught the soft edges of his face as he approached the mic. The host introduced him, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Liam." The judges studied him closely. There was something different about this young man, an aura of quiet intensity. Simon Cowell, invited as a special international guest judge, leaned back with analytical interest. Liam's presence was understated yet striking. Even before he spoke, the audience felt compelled to listen. "So, Liam," Judge Vice asked with curiosity, "tell us a little about yourself." Liam shifted slightly, gripping the neck of his guitar. "Well," he said softly, "I've been singing since I was young. I grew up around music, it's always been a part of who I am." His tone carried sincerity, but there was something more, something unsaid, that made the judges glance at one another. Simon narrowed his eyes, not in suspicion but in fascination. He had judged thousands of contestants across the globe, yet rarely did someone walk onto the stage with such natural gravity. Liam smiled faintly, as if hiding a truth he wasn't sure he should reveal yet. And that only deepened the mystery. Everyone sensed it, this contestant wasn't ordinary. Something monumental was about to unfold. The judges continued their questions, trying to understand the mysterious calm that surrounded Liam. "Where are you from? Who encouraged you to audition?" Judge Vice asked, leaning forward with genuine interest. Liam hesitated for a moment, his fingers tapping lightly on the guitar. The audience leaned in instinctively. Something was coming, everyone could feel it. "Well," he began slowly, "I get my musical influence from my family." "Family? Musicians too?" Vice probed. Liam took a deep breath, then looked directly at the judges. "My father," he said deliberately, "is someone most of you know. Someone many of you grew up listening to." The audience murmured. "My father is Freddie Aguilar." A wave of gasps swept through the auditorium like a gust of wind. People turned to one another, whispering and widening their eyes. Even the cameramen froze, adjusting their focus with renewed urgency. The judges sat in stunned silence, none more shocked than Simon Cowell himself. Simon blinked several times, genuinely taken aback. "Wait," he said, raising a hand. "Freddie Aguilar? The legend? The composer of Anak?" Liam nodded quietly. The crowd erupted again, this time in disbelief and excitement. Rumors had circulated for years about Freddie Aguilar having children the public didn't know about, but nothing had ever been confirmed. And now, right before their eyes, one of those rumors had materialized into reality. Judge Vice pressed a hand to her chest. "Why didn't we know about you?" Liam offered a humble smile. "My father wanted to protect my privacy. He didn't want me to grow up in the shadow of fame. But I felt it was time to tell my own story. I wanted this moment to be mine." The revelation didn't just shock the judges, it transformed the atmosphere completely. Suddenly, this wasn't just another audition. This was history unfolding. And Liam hadn't even sung a single note yet. With the truth now out in the open, the entire studio felt electrified. The judges sat a little straighter. The audience quieted down, waiting, almost afraid to breathe. Liam steadied his guitar, inhaled, and stepped closer to the microphone. He plucked the first chord. A familiar melody flowed through the air, but it wasn't identical to what the world knew. It was as if he had taken the soul of Anak and reimagined it through a modern lens, soft, haunting, filled with youthful ache. The audience fell instantly silent, drawn into the emotional gravity of the sound. Then he began to sing. His voice was warm and rich, similar to his father's yet uniquely his own. There was pain in it, and pride. A sense of longing, wrapped in heartfelt storytelling. The words felt reborn, no longer just a famous song, but a confession, a tribute, and a declaration of identity all at once. Cameras zoomed in on the judges. Vice covered her mouth. Another judge wiped a tear. But Simon Cowell, normally stone-faced during emotional acts, leaned forward, elbows on the table, eyes locked on Liam with visible astonishment. As the chorus rose, Liam closed his eyes, letting emotion guide him. The theater felt suspended in time. No one moved. Not a whisper, not a cough. Just Liam's voice weaving through the hearts of everyone present. When he reached the final note, a trembling, beautifully sustained high tone, the entire arena erupted. People stood, clapping, cheering, shouting his name. Some cried openly. Others pounded their hands on the railings in amazement. Liam lowered his guitar, visibly moved, tears welling in his eyes. This wasn't merely a performance. It was a moment of truth, his moment, and the world had felt it. The applause continued like a thunderstorm, loud, unending, emotional. It took several moments for the judges to regain their composure enough to speak. Liam stood quietly on stage, still overwhelmed, clutching his guitar as if grounding himself back to reality. Simon Cowell stood up. He rarely, if ever, rose to applaud during auditions. The audience gasped again as Simon stared directly at Liam, shaking his head in disbelief before finally speaking. "I've been in this industry for, what? 30 years, he began, his voice unusually soft. "And I can tell you this, very few performances move me the way you just did." The room hushed again. Simon continued, "This wasn't just good. This was extraordinary. Mesmerizing. And above all, authentic." Liam looked down, emotional. Simon pointed gently. "Your father is a legend. But you," he paused, choosing his words carefully, "you're not riding on his legacy. You're building your own." Judge Vice nodded vigorously, wiping tears from her eyes. "Simon is right. What we witnessed wasn't just talent. It was a story being told through music. Your story. And I'm honored we were here to witness it." Another judge added, "You didn't just sing Anak, you breathed new life into it." The audience cheered again. Simon leaned closer to his microphone. "I've judged on so many global stages, yet tonight, I genuinely feel shocked. In the best way possible. Liam, you have something rare, something real. Consider this not just a yes, but the beginning of something huge." The other judges echoed their yes votes with excitement and emotional praise. Liam pressed a hand over his heart, bowing deeply as tears streamed down his cheeks. He had earned not just approval, but respect. After stepping off stage, Liam was immediately engulfed by the production team. Microphones, cameras, interviewers, all aiming their questions at him. He answered politely but with a dazed smile, still trying to process what had just happened. Within minutes, clips of his audition were uploaded to social media. Within hours, they had millions of views. People everywhere were sharing, commenting, celebrating the unexpected discovery of Freddie Aguilar's hidden son. The hashtag Liam Aguilar began trending across multiple countries. The producers rushed over with news. "Liam, your father just sent a message." His breath caught. They handed him a phone displaying a short video from Freddie Aguilar himself. The older musician smiled warmly, his voice filled with emotion. "Son," he said, "I'm proud of you. The world now knows what I've always known, you were born for music. Liam clenched the phone, tears silently falling. The years of anonymity, the pressure of carrying a legend's bloodline, the fear of disappointing expectations, all of it melted away. After the show, he stepped outside the studio to breathe. The night air was cool, filled with distant city sounds. He looked up at the stars, feeling lighter, freer. The moment wasn't just a revelation for the world, it was liberation for him. People walking by recognized him instantly. Some asked for photos. Others simply congratulated him with awe in their eyes. Liam didn't feel overwhelmed, he felt ready. This was the beginning. Not Freddie Aguilar's son. Not a shadow of a legend. But Liam, an artist now embraced by the world. As he took a deep breath and walked forward, one thing became clear. A new legacy had just begun.